probably we can start the session. I hope that you have certain remaining questions from Somasundaram.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one more question from him.
Right.
So the question is, with what the lay people can be happy about, what can he reflect in the morning and evening and at good and difficult times of their personal and professional life, whether he is going in the right direction towards enlightenment?
Mm-hmm. So, in simple terms, we can simply say you got to be mindful, either in your own terms that the things are happening in the morning or afternoon or evening or at night, it doesn't matter. We have to be mindful. That is one thing. The other thing is sometimes we define, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is long, this is short, etc., etc. But as we continue the practice, so the mindfulness has to be fairly persistent and continuous, and it also has to be sort of effortless. So either you are a layperson or monk, it doesn't matter. So these qualities are to be developed. So as the followers of the Buddha, so if we are able to basically be mindful as well as develop the wisdom in a way so that we are not being sort of completely carried away by our thoughts, carried away by the defilements, then that should be the thing I think we have to do. Because typically what happens is when we are unmindful, our mind is continuously going through certain type of negative thoughts, or we can say various different kinds of defilements, and we become victim of those various defilements. But at least when we are mindful, then we have an opportunity to look at them. We can recognize them. We can at least save them without following them. We can simply save from them, kind of escape from them or abandon them. We can take whatever suitable action without being a victim to those defilements. Otherwise what happens is we continuously promote those defilements, we promote those old habits, and it's an endless suffering, ultimately we can say. So in brief, therefore, I like to say, either you are a layman or monk, either in the morning, afternoon, evening, at night, doesn't matter. Be mindful and see, if possible, see your mind, what is going on there, and try to recognize, try to investigate what's really going on. So all are actually in this world, we are maintaining kind of a sense awareness, a wakefulness, and while maintaining this kind of a wakefulness, we can be aware, we can investigate what's really going on mindfully. I think so we basically started with the old question came from Mr. Somasundaram. So probably now we can get into the new questions. If you all have any question related to your meditation or any Dhamma questions, so please raise your hand, then we can unmute you and continue the session. As you all know, during these couple of weeks, so we are basically continuing only the question and answer session and not introducing new suttas. And so you are welcome to ask questions.
Looks like we have a question from Laura.
Yeah.
Feel free to unmute.
Good morning. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes.
I thought I might as well ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we met, you said that one of the best things the Buddha said was to teach the Dhamma.
Uh-huh.
And I have a couple of questions about that.
Right.
So when I was working, I was able to do meditation at lunchtime with leading the meditation with groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
So although I'm not that good at Dhamma, I'm good at doing the loving kindness meditation. So that's what I basically was doing, a bit of breathing, a bit of loving kindness.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, I live in a society where Buddhism, other people know about Buddhism, they're not really Buddhists and they don't really want to be religious,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a lot of stress.
Mm.
So it's with compassion that I decided that I would do this wellness thing. And I work in an office which had 1,000 people, but only about 10 people turn up, or less than 10 sometimes.
Right.
So I used to do the loving kindness meditation. I have regular people come in because they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, when we say that the highest blessing is teaching the Dhamma, I'm in a situation where sometimes you can't actually talk about Buddhism per se because it's in a corporate situation or it's in a situation where people don't want the religion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering how that is seen.
Yeah,
Whether
actually,
it's still something worthwhile.
mm-hmm. Actually, what you are doing is correct, and we don't need to attach a label that you are, say, teaching Buddhism or any kind of a Buddhist activity or something like that, because you know what Buddha mentioned or taught is something common to everyone in a way. In terms of the truth, he has shown some universal truth. On the other hand, the teaching, various exercises, various instructions, what he shared are common to all human beings. Later on, people have introduced a name called Buddhism just to distinguish among various other religions. So such a label was introduced. Then people were thinking, okay, this is also another religion, another, say, whatever kind of a sect or something. But on the other hand, if we consider what Buddha wants to tell us or what he wants to share, is very much like kind of a universal truth. So therefore, you don't need to put even a label telling, okay, I am making a Dhamma class or I am making a Buddhist practice or something like that. You can continue the practice, and if they want to participate, let them participate. And that it is not a kind of a religious conversion or something like that going on. Rather, you are simply sharing your experience and you are sort of helping them and let them get the benefit. In case if they want to, say, ask further details, so how can I further improve myself? Then you can further share your knowledge, your experiences, whatever. And labels are not so important. What is important is the practice in a way. And as we are growing, actually, there may be a situation where the gratitude might grow, for example, from whom these teachings have come from. Then obviously, probably, you can say, okay, these are coming from the Buddha. And so likewise, so this is how we need to, in a way, address a group where they don't want to label themselves as Buddhists or they don't want to join with a religious group. Okay, doesn't matter. But still we are open to share the knowledge, to share the experience. And if it is benefiting others, then doesn't matter, no problem.
Thank you. And another question is, if we were to sometimes expound on the Dhamma, but you don't quite get it exactly 100%,
Mm-hmm.
Is there a problem in that, or can you canvas it saying, I think this is what the Buddha said, or this is what is, represented by Buddhism,
Mm-hmm.
rather than saying it is? Like sometimes my Dhamma knowledge is not that
Mm-hmm.
deep.
Yeah, I think rather than doing a kind of a guesswork, better do a little bit of, if you are to teach, then you better learn something, because otherwise we might even mislead, because it also can happen. Yeah, so particularly related to the Dhamma, related to the teaching of the Buddha, if you want to share, better we learn, and then we are sort of not misleading or misrepresenting, because that's an interesting point. Now, even during the Buddha's time, certain monks are coming to the Buddha and they want to verify directly with the Buddha. Bhante, I have mentioned something like this. Am I properly representing your teaching? Or am I misleading? Or have I sort of distracted? Have I shifted from your teaching? So likewise, many cases are there. Even during the Buddha's time, monks are coming and asking from the Buddha, am I disparaging you? Am I aligned with your teaching? Likewise, they inquire directly from the Buddha. So therefore, I mean, we should learn some teaching and then we can share. At the same time, you can participate discussions like these kind of things, and then you can verify further. Then I can share something which from the little I know, and in case I can't answer, then probably we all can further look into certain suttas, and we also can further discuss various other views. All these things are possible. The Dhamma discussion is a very interesting area for us to develop ourselves, to share our knowledge, abandon the doubts. All these things, all these benefits are there. So anyway, what I want to highlight is, better learn a little, better learn something, and you can then talk about that rather than simply doing a guesswork.
Yeah, so last week you talked about Kosambi Sutta, so I'll read to it. I have a Majjhima Nikaya translation, which is almost like a bit condensed version.
Uh-huh.
It's from the Buddhist shop in Kandy.
Uh-huh.
But when I read it, I can't understand all of the wisdom in it. I can understand some, but it's not like, because I'm starting to read the suttas. I have read suttas a little bit before.
Yeah.
So because of the language and because of the repetition and some of the concept is still very new, so I can't understand that I need to actually consult someone rather than trying to learn by myself, but maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah. So probably what you can do is now actually for about, I think, several years we were conducting this program, for example, this Sutta teaching session program, and we started from I think the Sabbasava Sutta, maybe in give me a second, I think that is on, actually I don't have all the past information with me, so maybe in 2020 or something, I can't remember. Anyway, if you slowly start reading them or listening to them, parallelly keeping the book with you, that way you can learn two different ways. First, assume that you are reading the book, and then you listen to the particular sutta which we have conducted, and then you can see what you can learn, what you can gain, and etc. And better, now if you start with Majjhima Nikaya type of a book, better buy a book translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi. It's a very, very good reference. If you are more into the English language, then better go for that. And it's a good thing to keep as a reference.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bhante.
And the link, link should be available. I mean, if you are interested, I can share with you the link where all the past Sutta teachings are included. So those are included in our website as well as in the YouTube channel. I'll put the YouTube channel. It may be more convenient for you to sort of find out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
I am given the opportunity soon to do some meditation teaching through the Buddhist Society of Western Australia.
Uh-huh.
But I'm thinking if people ask very deep questions, then I'll have to take it away and consult someone and come back or read, and I won't be able to answer straight away.
Right.
Yeah, because it's nice to be given the opportunity, but I just want to make sure I do it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, I mean, because the thing is, there are people who are familiar with these things nowadays, unlike the past. now people are fairly knowledgeable and the information is sort of accessible and widely available. So therefore, I mean, you also can learn and you can listen to these sermons, and that's a good thing to expand our knowledge as well as while we are continuing the practice.
Yes. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to be selfish. The other issue that came up in the same discussion was about psychic powers.
Uh-huh.
And that they're only worth 5 cents. I have some, now I'm not being egotistical, it's come from my last life or some practices. I have some psychic powers. And ghosts often show their face to me if I go to a cemetery and I say to them, please go away, I don't know what I'm doing. But I have been able to get a ghost from my house to go away. Mom gave me a chanting tape.
Uh-huh.
And I have other psychic abilities, like I can know things that are going to happen and things that are happening far away to my children.
I see.
And so on. So I've always had that ability since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Mom always used to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, I know it's not worth much, but I use it for helping people in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's something bad,
mm-hmm.
but as long as you don't misuse it, it's just like another skill set that your mind gets when
mm-hmm.
you're doing these practices.
Correct. So
do
actually,
you think?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do have interest in these things like feng shui, astrology, reading palms. My mind does want to learn a little bit about them.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's a bad thing, or that I should not do that?
Not the bad thing, but it may deviate your attention, main focus. That's the problem. The thing is now say for example you are publicly announcing, okay, I do these things, then many people may come and try to get your help, and maybe if you really have the skill, probably you can help them as well. But the thing is, your time and your all these skills being very much like diverted into that area, rather than really spiritually developing your, the understanding, the wisdom, so that you are able to free yourself from the defilements in a way. So that's why Buddha has emphasized the recognizing or developing these proper spiritual qualities, and using them we should be able to abandon the defilements and to see through the things rather than being trapped. And even though we are helping others on the mundane sense, they may be happy and we also may be happy, but that is very temporary happiness and that is very temporary relief, and we should be able to do it. But on the other hand, in the long run, they may again get the same problem. But what Buddha wants to do is not to give a kind of a very short answer or temporary answer, but he has a very comprehensive, profound answer to completely abandon from the suffering, completely be free. So that is his main emphasis. So I think therefore we as practitioners, we should try our best to develop these necessary spiritual qualities rather than diverting our attention to these kind of abilities. That the even when we are developing spiritually, these qualities may even sharpen. That's also another advantage. But that is not the area we need to pay more attention. Our primary focus shouldn't be there. That is what I want to, even last time I want to highlight. That's what Buddha himself has put them in a little lower level, rather than highlighting or emphasizing monks to practice all these say psychic powers and help others using the psychic powers. He didn't really say like that. Instead, what he has mentioned is, okay, the the ability to convince another person, ability to understand another person about the Dhamma, showing them the path by preaching. So that is what he really highlighted, really encouraged and really appreciated.
Thank you so much for instructing me, because I think I needed to be told off a little bit to stay on the path and not go into other smaller paths and get lost.
Yeah, exactly. So that will be more helpful to you, and I think that will be more safer even.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. So Bhante, I guess for all the participants, I had shared the link to all the past recordings, at least for this session.
That's good. So Jennifer has shared the Nissarana website link, and I have shared the YouTube link. So any of you are interested, you can go to those links and access the past recordings.
And Bhante, our Dhamma sermon started back in 2020. You were right with the Sabasava Sutta.
Yeah. 2020, no? Yeah, now it's almost 5 years.
Yep, that's right.
Good.
Okay, so we'll invite Andrad for the next question.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yep.
Just want to query about the emptiness, like shunyatavya. Just want to get a bit of explanation on that, in relation to the experience and the meditation. Just want to understand what it exactly means.
Before going to the exact meaning, let me connect it with the practice in a way. Actually, we assume that we are practicing Anapanasati or whatever Satipatthana related practice. Then one thing is that we should slowly able to minimize the load in our mind. Our mind is very much loaded. It's heavy. It's stressed. It is fairly, defiled. So as we continue the practice, so these kinds of negative sides has to be reduced, and instead the positive qualities have to be developed. And you are coming to a monastery, and then you are trying to minimize all the distractions you had, all the burden you had, all the responsibilities you had at your office, at your home, at the society, and you are trying to minimize all that burden, and you are very much simplifying the practice or simplifying your way of life. As you continue, so this simplification further improve, and you may be able to focus onto a certain kind of an area, and now you may be able to closely examine what's going on. So basically the idea is, we rather than trying to explore everything at once, so we minimize our load and then slowly came to a particular stream, and then we are examining what's really going on. So likewise, we are developing certain kind of wisdom as well. Previously maybe mindfulness, and then maybe certain amount of concentration, and then now we are into the wisdom. So as we develop the wisdom, so further emptying of the mind has to happen. So the mind has to be further simplified, less burdened, less stress, and less defiled. So the emptiness is, in a way, you have to experience in that sense. So the mind become more lighter, more simple, and more relaxed, more calm, more quiet, and more empty even. And later, particularly when you understand the impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self, now we are getting to the more deeper areas in terms of the understanding. And now we come to the sunyata, or the emptiness. So that is more into the what we call the non-self, anatta. in the non-self, so we basically, typically we think, okay, I am here, you are there, and I am talking to you. So this is how we interpret the whole experience. And I have my identification and you have your own identification, and we are living in a particular world, and I am here in US and you may be at another place. So likewise we basically define our name, our experience and everything from the point of subject-object point of view, kind of a dualistic way. But as you continue the path, you may be able to understand, okay, there is no such kind of a subject-object type of thing. So those are kind of man-made, conventional labeling stuff. So the experience is mere experience without a person, without an object, without an individual. So then you are coming to the real emptiness. That is where Buddha defines Sunyamidang attenava attaniyenava. So this is the kind of a literal definition Buddha has given for emptiness. Sunyamidang attenava attaniyenava. That means the empty of a self and what belongs to a self. And the whole experience. So it's a vast whole experience is empty of a self and what belongs to a self.
Okay. So it's just as you go, the definition sort of changes, like with your experience.
Yeah, it may have to grow. Yeah, and it may have to grow, and you may be able to more and more understand it, and you experience it, and you can't immediately come to that either. So we don't need to start from emptiness. That's another interesting thing. What we can start with is the impermanence in a way. We can observe the impermanence, how things are coming and going, starting and then disappearing, appearing and disappearing, arising and passing away. And all that is something we can start recognizing. So the emptiness is a product of this impermanence in a way. So when we thoroughly understand impermanence, then slowly our mind gets established in the non-self, anatta. And one aspect of anatta is emptiness actually. And as our practice matures, it may lead more towards this emptiness. That's another situation.
Okay. I think I sort of understood that. So it's just a long way to go.
Yeah. Very interesting. By the way, these are very interesting and interesting to know these things. And it's a very good question and interesting question also.
Yeah. All right. Thero Sanai.
Yeah, Thero Sanai.
Hi, Priya. Feel free to unmute.
Thero Sanai Bante.
Thero Sanai.
Bante, can I ask a question related to something happened when I was on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
So we were on vacation a couple of months ago and we did many activities. It's a family vacation. So I had moments of likes and dislikes, but they were not powerful enough to disturb the mind.
Mm-hmm.
But one day we went to a concert by one of my favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
So actually I had desire to go,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't expect anything. I just went, but without thinking about it, and I had desire.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were there, first, not the main artist, the others came and performed, but nothing. I didn't have any reaction.
Right.
But when the main artists come and start singing and performing, I instantly I felt that clinging happened.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So much clinging, and then at the same time, so much suffering, the clinging and the suffering, and clinging and the suffering. So I feel like it's going together. But I didn't have any guilt of being there or anything, and I didn't mind if it end, and I didn't have that desire to if it end, it doesn't matter to me. But at the time, it was a lot of clinging.
By the way,
yeah.
let me interrupt you. How you experience the suffering?
I don't know. It's like it's a emotion. It's like
Heavy,
uneasy,
kind of a heaviness.
uneasiness, or in the mind, or
right.
I can't really explain it, but it's like not. It's very uneasy. It's like, but at the same time, I want to listen to it and I want to enjoy it. And then, but underneath, I can feel the suffering. And so I was aware whole time like that, and then toward the end, I even told we'll leave early because we can get the car. It's not that I didn't want to be there, but I didn't mind to leave early. So after that, I thought what was happening, and I remember you said two things cannot happen at the same time. So I thought clinging happened, and then suffering happened like that, and then I was trying to think, put it into independent origination, and
actually one small correction, by the way. Now clinging and suffering can happen at the same time. Actually, it doesn't need to be kind of linearly. It has to happen, even though Buddha put it in a linear fashion. Say avijja pacca sankhara, sankhara pacca vijnanam. So likewise, when he is explaining that, it doesn't mean that the whole thing is happening in a linear way. Rather, everything can happen spontaneously. So but main idea is, for the sankhara to happen, avijja has to be there. Avijja is a prerequisite.
Yeah.
So then the vijnana to happen, the sankhara is a prerequisite. The namarupa, name and form, to happen, say the vijnana is a prerequisite. So depending on vijnana, say the name and form happen. Depending on name and form, then the salayatana happens. So likewise, so the kind of a dependently arising nature particularly emphasized, but we sometimes feel it's a kind of a linear temporal relationship is represented there. It's not exactly the temporal relationship. Things can happen simultaneously.
I see. But Bhante, the consciousness, so you can get the consciousness, as I understood, I can be conscious on one thing at a time, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
So how do I explain that? Understand that. So
both are there. Yeah, both may be there, but you are paying attention to one thing at a time.
Yeah. And then so I understood the clinging, and then the becoming, and then so what was how do I didn't understand what is death, and after that I didn't understand what does that mean.
So that's a very, very interesting area actually. Now, death in the sense, so we are born to a new experience. So this new experience is coming to an end. So that is the death. So again and again we are attached into a new experience, a new episode, and this new episode being born, and we are born to that type of an existence. Say for example, he is playing a kind of a rhythm or kind of a song, whatever it is, and each moment he is playing that, then we are attuned to that and we are attached into that, holding that, we are enjoying that, we are born to that experience. We are born to that experience, and but that experience is not lasting long. It will disappear, it will end. So that experience is gone now. It is coming to the end. It is died now.
So, and then the same thing for the suffering, right?
Yes.
I understand that, and then it goes, and then
A new
it's
suffering
happening
again. Yeah, a new moment of suffering, another moment of suffering. Because on the other thing, when you are explaining this, what came to my mind is that probably you can remember in the Indriya Bhavana Sutta, Buddha is telling us, okay, look at the new experience as a kind of a Olarikang Sankatang Parisampannang. Olarikang means it's a kind of a gross experience. We were in a very relaxed, very calm, very quiet, a type of a very simplified type of an experience. It doesn't have any attachment, it doesn't have any burden, it doesn't have any, the crowding of the mind. It's a very simple, relaxed, equanimous state of mind. Compared to that, so this new, excited and enjoyable type of an experience is gross. It makes the mind little burden. It makes the mind heavy, and you get the kind of a triggering of the senses, and your senses are not at peace in a way. So they are being bombarded. They are being stimulated. So you may experience it as a kind of a very gross type of an experience compared to the previous very relaxed, very calm, quiet, simple type of an experience. So that is a type of a suffering in a way. So the new experience, so new agitated, excited state is a type of a suffering compared to this old, calm, relaxed, quiet, simplified, equanimous state.
I see. So we went to watch a movie, but during the whole time I knew that it was a movie, and I did not get absorbed to it. So,
right. Oh, that's a good thing.
It did not. It didn't affect me. Yeah, but this one I did. I don't know if it will happen again because I really like his music. So
yeah. That's the thing. Actually, these are the areas that we need to investigate rather than completely avoiding these things. We time to time better to see where we are, how we again get trapped in these experiences. That as you said, you are able to watch it as a movie, not taking it so seriously as a reality. So that's a good thing. So that makes you in a way to maintain certain amount of wisdom, mindfulness, so that you are not crying when a sorrowful scene is going on, and you are not really jump into the laughter when certain enjoyable thing is going on, because it's a movie again and again. So you are very much like maintaining that understanding. In a way, we have to say you are not enjoying the movie.
But I have to tell, if somebody cries, I cry.
Yeah, that is a different thing.
It doesn't matter for what, or it's
that
automatically happens.
That is more into the empathy side. So the karuna side, that you become more sensitive, and then you feel, and the emotions go and somewhat disturb the mind. But that also has to be a little bit reduced, I feel, as we continue, because it doesn't mean that we have to lose all the emotions immediately, but coming to the level of crying could be a little bit of going overhead, actually.
Yeah, it's still happening. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bhante.
Yeah.
Thero Sarana.
Thero Sarana. So are you in Texas? Or?
No, I'm in Indiana.
I see. Because I am supposed to go to Texas next.
Kusali, one of my best
friends.
That's
what I was wondering. I can remember that you were telling that Kusali It's one of your
Yeah.
good friend. So
Yeah.
I'm supposed to conduct a retreat there in Texas starting on
She
19th.
told me,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. So it seems like no more questions. Okay, someone has raised a hand. Please go ahead.
Peter, you may unmute.
That's right. Thanks. Thanks, Bhante.
Yeah.
My question is around, does meditation actually hinder life as a lay person anyway? Because I've noticed that I have become more sedentary and quieter I live alone. And sometimes if I just sit down with a cup of tea and look out of the window, I find that the mind settles. I'm not specially trying to be mindful of any object, but the mind seems to settle, and there's just the happiness. And I can just sit there. I don't even want to move. And so I think after a while, somebody told me that this kind of still state is like a tranquility of the water buffalo.
Tranquility of the water.
The Miharaka
Understood.
kind of situation. So, and I could see that as I was sitting with this peaceful feeling, there was no real attempt to investigate the Dhamma or anything. So the first question is that actually a waste of time, just sitting like that, not getting things done in the house? So
shall we answer the question first then?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically we need to verify how you reach here. Because if you are you haven't come through a proper path and simply ignorantly maintain a kind of a neutral state of mind, yes, we can say, this is a kind of a ignorant type of equanimity. It is not really the product of the wisdom. But suppose that you were able to develop certain fair amount of wisdom, you went through certain amount of mindfulness practice, developing clear comprehension, and you were able to understand the impermanent nature of the conditioned phenomena, and it leads you to have a certain amount of dispassion, and then automatically then the mind reduce the grasping and ultimately mind become free. But if you are at least once, at least several times you have come through this kind of a path, then this freedom can become registered in your mind. At a later time, then you may be able to jump to that without going through that whole exercise. So you should know how you arrive there.
Okay, I have to pay attention to what's actually how I get there.
No, I mean previously, very first time, if you can remember the very first occasion, how you arrived there. Is it through the practice, any development of mindfulness, any development of wisdom? You arrived at, or it automatically happened to you, all of a sudden?
It happened very quickly, but I was sitting there with the intention of finishing my cup of tea.
No. I am not asking this instance. I am asking some time back, the very first time you were able to experience this equanimous, relaxed state, how you arrive that, how you achieve that.
Right. I can't answer that clearly. It surprised me that it just happened so quickly, that sort of calmness and that happy state. I can't really.
Have you practiced any mindfulness? You purposely want to develop mindfulness? You went through any retreats? Oh,
Yes, I have, yes, many retreats.
Uh-huh.
And but this was not a retreat conditions. I suppose this was just at home.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Retreats,
So don't
yes.
get confused. So
Yeah.
so you are now enjoying the result of your past your effort, your practice. Now you can't simply compare this as a a completely new product. Rather, it's a result of all your effort what you have practiced. Several retreats, several years you are practicing diligently, and now this is the product you are quickly jumping. The mind is automatically getting it's all right. But here also don't simply think it's a kind of ignorant state. Rather, you need to maintain this state and again try to recognize how the mind again go to the old habits, how you get trapped in the old habits, how I-making, mind-making, conceit, comparisons, all these things are happening. Then we are making use of this state further to abandon the defilements, to further purify the mind. So this is not the end in that sense. So this is a very good area for us to recognize the subtle defilements.
Right. Actually, listening to you, I realize now the first time it happened was in retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
It was quite a marked experience. And so it's possible, like you're saying, it just slipped into that.
Yeah. So actually when it happens first, it is not immediately happen. I mean, you went through a fair amount of practice.
Yes.
As a result of that, it happened. But later it frequently happened, and now it's easily accessible. That's reasonable, and that should be the way. And basically, then you don't need to go through this whole practice again and again. Rather, you can jump to it. It's easily available to you. It's all right. Now, while being there, further try to recognize subtle defilements.
Yeah, I was starting to get a little bit worried that I have to still maintain my life.
Sorry?
Do the things that need to be done but I feel that that's where I was worried that meditation can actually be a negative thing, in the sense that now I have to sort of push myself, come on, you have to do this, you have to do something,
not at all. Not at all.
You have to socialize, and without, in my mind, then I start to create a resistance. Even before I get to the social event, I'm already resistant to sort of having to talk, having to meet people. So I feel like maybe I'm creating a problem without just, but I just wondered if it's hampering the lay life.
No, that's why I think you now previously that Priya explained a kind of a situation that where she with the family going to see a movie or a musical show, whatever it is. Now these things are also areas for us to practice, because all these opportunities are teaching us in a way. I mean, you can put yourself into such situation and see how the mind is responding, how the mind is reacting. So this whole thing, everything is teaching us.
Yeah.
So we don't need to really, kind of stop or prevent an occasion. In case if we really can understand, okay, it is not going to be a good thing and it's really breaking the precepts and it's harmful for me, then of course we need to prevent it. But other than that, new experiences may be helping us to see how the mind is reacting, or is it properly responding? Are we still getting carried away by the defilements? All these things are a kind of an investigation.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. One other question, which goes back to an instruction that I had during a retreat at Kandaboda with Pemasiri Hamdru, who passed away last year. And it's sort of kept in my, it keeps popping up in my mind. He was saying that when asked about this mindfulness, how to develop sati, he said, well, you can't develop sati, but you can develop manasikara.
Mm-hmm.
And once that, and he said the sati is the moment without the alima gatima.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, how can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
He said, you can't set out to do that. If you keep doing the manasikara, a moment will come when there is no alima or gatima.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a moment of sati.
Mm-hmm.
So this keeps coming up in my mind from time to time. Can you clarify, have I got this wrong, or how can I use it?
No, I think it's a way of explanation how he explained it to you. So different ways of explanations are there. So manasikara in the sense here, now the establishment of mindfulness is possible by adverting your mind to a particular object. Say you are paying attention to breath, paying attention to the step, paying attention to eating. So this is the kind of a manasikara. So you are adverting your mind, you are paying attention to a particular event, particular incident, particular place, particular process. By doing that, in a way you are avoiding any past rumination, past proliferation, future planning, etc. Because currently ongoing present moment phenomena has become your primary focus, primary attention. Then in a way we establish mindfulness. Isn't it? So you are mindful. You are mindful about a particular process.
Memories and things to cloud.
Yeah, those things are absent almost, and you are mindful about the present moment, what's really going on in the present moment. But yet, still you may you might get attracted, you might get repelled, because still you are not fully, capable doing it properly. That's why he might have mentioned without alima gatima, without any attraction and repulsion, then only you come to the pristine type of mindfulness. So actually it might be possible as one is growing in the path, not immediately. Slowly you may understand the right amount of effort that you need to maintain. If you put too much effort, again you get sometimes restless, or sometimes absorbed. If you are not putting enough effort, then you can become distracted. All these things are there. So later you may understand, okay, this is the optimum amount of effort I need to maintain, the right amount of effort I need to maintain. Then there is no any repulsion, no attraction, rather kind of a balanced mind. And later, by the way, assume that you develop fair amount of vipassana, fair amount of wisdom is now available in the mind, then it will naturally maintain this balance. You don't need to really effortfully maintain, rather it becomes a very natural, very relaxed kind of a mindfulness.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Very interesting area actually we were discussing. So these are very subtle points in a way. So how to recognize the state of the mind? Is it kind of attracted to something, or is it kind of trying to get rid of something, pushing away something, or is it in a very good balance? So this balanced state of mind is the most important state. Again and again we need to come to this balanced state. Very relaxed, very calm, very quiet in a way, fairly simple, and no stress, fairly clarity should be there in the mind, shouldn't be crowded, and this is the kind of a balanced state. We can simply say it's a kind of a samma samadhi.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
Yep.
Bhante, may I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a state in the practice where it makes sense for us to focus on the external phenomenons specifically like mental phenomenon. So I feel like sometimes I can kind of pick up maybe thoughts, emotions. From it doesn't seem like it's originating from me, because I can just check my mind to see what's arising in the mind, and it doesn't seem like that's where it's coming from. But Bhante, is there a part of the practice where or I guess, should we just be centered and just notice whatever comes, and then we don't need to differentiate whether it's internal or external?
Yeah, I think it should be possible, and as you know that the internal, external, these are kind of labels that we sometimes overemphasize, and internal, external, that division might have to fall or kind of fade away, and you simply merely experience in a more neutral, more central type of a level. And either it comes from inside or coming from outside, doesn't matter, but they sometimes stimulate the mind, they sometimes agitate the mind. But if it is not agitating, then it's quite good.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. So the mind, in a way, so become more expansive. Then it's not that it's a kind of focus onto a particular narrow place. Rather, the awareness become more pervasive, more expanded, more broader kind of awareness is available. So whatever coming to that awareness field, conscious field, then you can be aware.
Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't sure. So, for example, let's say we are contemplating the body and all these sensations we need to like clearly comprehend, right? And so I just wasn't sure if we are picking up things from external, whether we need to clearly comprehend that that's from external. But it sounds like we don't need to make that distinction.
Okay, that's the question. Okay, that is actually at the very, that's the big, the maybe we can say the early stage of our practice. Say we are picking the internal phenomena particularly. So the bodily phenomena you can directly experience and you can pay attention, and so that is the selection. And then that understanding can expand inferentially to the outside. So outside also like this. Then we can say, okay, outside phenomena also behave the same way as the internal phenomena.
Okay, yes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But anyway, in case if you are able to observe certain outside phenomena, say for example, there is a sound happening that is outside maybe, and you can pay attention to that. Someone is talking, you can pay attention to that. A noise happening, you can pay attention to that. So likewise, even certain sights happening, smells happening. So I mean, if you like, you can pay attention to certain easy outside phenomena as well, and you can try to learn from them. No harm in doing that. Okay, I think we have almost reached 10:25. Jennifer, shall we wind up?
Sure, Bhante. Sounds good.
Yeah, it seems like nobody is further asking questions. I think we almost covered 1 hour. So then we'll wind up the session, and thank you very much for attentive participation and good discussion. And I hope Jennifer is going to continue the session by playing a recording. Am I correct?
That's correct, Bhante.
Yeah, okay. Then I'll take the leave. Thero Vanaya.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.